Alright, so we're here to do an unboxing of the UUQ 4-16 by 44 rifle scope. And we're going to start with the Amazon box that came in because there is no protection on the inside. And this box got a little bashed. It's got, yeah, you can kind of see like that. And I think on one of the sides, yeah, right here, this is a little torn. So, if everything's A-okay in here, that's going to be the first test to see how the quality is. Excuse the noise in the background. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. I'm going to be opening it for the first time. And so everything you see is what I'm going to see. I guess I don't need my knife. So first thing that comes out, I'm pretty sure these are the scope rings, which we will get to. Nice. Comes with a battery. And then here's the scope itself. There's nothing else in the box, so we can go and set that aside. It's wrapped up pretty nicely. And this is definitely a tactical scope. So these are the scope rings it comes with. I'm actually going to take these off. Nothing fancy about these ones, but you know, they work as scope rings, so pretty cool looking scope here. Here we go. The UUQ 4-16 by 44. So let's go ahead and install the battery. The threads are really nice and smooth. Thread this back down. There is a O-ring in between the cap and the adjustments right here. So I imagine that it does stay water resistant. But yeah, let's go and turn it on here. Yep, it's working. See if I can show you guys. Where's the reticle? Ah, there it is. So yeah, there. You got your red reticle. I wonder if I can get you a better shot of the reticle. Yeah, it's about the best I'm gonna be able to do here. But you got your red. And then this right here is the green. Where'd you go? There you are. As you can see, this reticle has numbers as well as mils, or hash marks. So that's kind of nice to see, like where 200 yards is and everything. And then right here, that's blue. So one thing that I actually really do like, I'll try and show you guys here with the close-up. There's only 3 brightness settings. I mean, thank you. That's all you need. You never need like 11 brightness settings, or even 7 brightness settings for that matter, or whatever. But I mean, yeah, just give me low, medium, and high. That's great. I love it. So I actually don't really use illuminated reticles that much. I find just the black reticle with, you know, sufficient enough lighting at your objective seems to do the trick. So anyways, but it is nice to have. I think some people like illumination, you know, for dusk or dawn. It is adjustable. Wow, looks like all the way down to 30 feet to 300 and then infinite. So that's pretty cool. You can go all the way up to 300, so that's nice. And then of course you have your dioptic adjustment back here, you know, to get you the right kind of picture looking through that through those lenses. So right here is the magnification adjustments. Everything's been very smooth so far, and I mean stiff enough, which is good. Like it's not going to go rattling loose or anything like that while you're adjusting these. You know, nice and smooth and quiet. So you have your 4 magnification all the way to 16. Right here we have the adjustable turrets. Again, this is what at least I consider to be a tactical scope because of these adjustable turrets. So basically, you get your 0, you undo this Allen wrench right here, and then that loosens this up, and then you can, you know, once you get your 0 safe, it's like right there, then you adjust that. You're going to be able to turn it back to 0, and then you set it down and tighten it. And so then every single time you adjust it, you know exactly where 0 is. And so if I have, say if I'm shooting at a certain elevation that I'm not zeroed for, or if I'm shooting at, there's a lot of wind or something like that, like a 20-mile-an-hour crosswind, I can go, you know, lift this up, turn it, some, you know, maybe to like 1.0, something like that. Press it back down and it's locked in there really nicely. So you can make those adjustments pretty easy on the fly without having to get out a tool or undo a cap or something like that and make adjustments that way. This is just a lot faster. It does come with a sunshade, which is nice. And the sunshade looks like it's pretty well machined. Let's see here. Yeah, you don't have to take off any kind of cap. Looks like it just threads right in there. Wow. Yeah, those threads are really nice. So you can, I guess if you're shooting on a really bright day, go ahead and bust this thing on. And then second accessory that it comes with, we might as well take a look at, are the scope rings. And these are just some, I think, medium profile scope rings. I'm not actually going to take these out. I mean, they seem like they're kind of your basic run of the mill. They got the 4 screws on each ring. So definitely, you know, heavy duty. I mean, they're not light duty. They feel actually pretty heavy. I plan on mounting this to a Mossberg MVP chambered in 5.56. So, you know, if you want to see that, go ahead and check out the amateur YouTube channel, amateur with 2 T's. And I should hopefully have that video up pretty soon. So that's the unboxing of the UUQ 4 to 14. Is it 4? No, 4 to 16. Sorry, 4 to 16 scope, rifle scope. Sitting slightly to the right. At 300 yards, no problems whatsoever. Got a cow. He's probably right off frame, but he's staring me down. It's a longhorn. Got the cows in the background. Per usual on these long range shots, it's always kind of hard to find a good safe distance or safe direction I should say, you know, where I'm obviously not pointed at the cows. But they are a roaming species. They love to roam around. So I'm gonna have to move anyways. Right now we're at 100 yards. And what I'd like to do is hopefully push it out to at least 300 yards today, if not maybe 400 yards. With the Mossberg MVP chambered in 5.56. And on top of here, that's what this video is really all about, the UUQ 4 to 16 by 44 rifle scope. So nothing, I mean, too fancy here. It's just to go over a few features. It's got your tactical turrets, which I call them tactical because it's the kind that you lift up and then you can turn and then you put it back down to lock it. By the way, there's some harvesting going on in the background, so you might hear some loud background noise, but it's pretty far in the distance, so hopefully it won't really cause too many issues. But yeah, anyways, back to the scope itself. UUQ did send this out to the channel, so they just wanted me to review it, and that's what we're going to do. It is an illuminated reticle, and it has 3 different kinds of illumination. You have your red, green, and blue, your typical, budget scope here, but it's definitely high quality. I do not have it mounted with the rings that it came with. I wanted kind of a lower bore axis, or height over bore, that's what I should say. So it's got these, I think they're medium profile Monstrum ring scope rings, and it came with, I'm pretty sure, a high profile set of rings. So I wanted to bring it down a little bit, so that's why I'm using these other rings. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good though on this Mossberg MVP. At the muzzle there, we got a Odinworks Baja 556 suppressor, so that'll take down on some of the decibel levels out here. And I'm still using hearing protection though, because we are shooting 556, which is still very much a supersonic round. So yeah, anyways, I just sighted it in. It was really easy to sight in. I think it took me 6 rounds to sight in, so that's really nice. I hate having to waste a lot of ammo sighting in, but yeah, right now I loaded it back up with 10 more rounds. Got some birds overhead, but just gonna take some shots here at 100 yards and just see how it does. Kind of give you my thoughts on it. So, going hot. Yeah, no issues whatsoever. Yeah, what to say? I don't know. It has a clear enough lens. I'm not going to say it's the clearest lens. There is a little bit of blur. I've got some really weird lighting going on here. It's definitely an overcast day, but the clouds have been moving pretty quickly, so the sun kind of peeks out here and there. And speaking of which, it did come with a sunshade, but we're not going to be using that. But the lens, for I believe it's like $55 on Amazon right now, and at that kind of price, I mean, it has very nice lenses, very clear for a budget scope. And I'm having no issue putting it right there in the center of the target. Yeah, this is too easy at 100 yards. So, I don't know what else is there to really say. I have it all the way up to 16 right now. I'm gonna probably back it down to 12. And it does have a adjustable objective lens, so it goes all the way down to 30 feet, which I think it's kind of funny they put 30 feet on here. They might as well just put 10 yards, so as to not confuse too many people. But then it goes to 50 feet, which is like 3 quick maths, what is that's like 16, 17 yards, about a little less than 17 yards. And then you get into your yardage right here with 25 yards, and then it goes 50, 75, 100, 200, 300 is the last measurement on there before infinity. So it's basically a 10 to 300 yard objective lens, which is good enough. And then anything beyond that, you could just keep it on infinite. That'll probably do just fine. I wonder how it looks at 100 while it's on infinite. It's not bad. I mean, it's a little blurry, but it's not a huge difference. Yeah, I notice a big difference when I go past like 50 yards. But at 100, yeah, it's very clear. The target's at 100, this is set at 100, and it is very clear. So, cool. Do I have a round in here? I forgot. Yes, I do. We're shooting, by the way. This is some Remington 223 Remington. And if that sounds redundant, what I mean is that it's the Remington brand, like the white box, 150 round white box that you see that comes with this Lake City ammo. I believe this is like surplus ammo from Lake City that Remington just packages up for the civilian market. But it's accurate stuff. I do like it a lot. It operates really well. It's accurate. But when we push it back to like 200 and beyond, I think I'm going to be using some 75 grain Frontier that this rifle really likes a lot. No issues at all. I'm just keeping my hand here because I don't want the brass to go flying into the grass. Brass in the grass, it's not easy to find. Those cows are starting to make their way over here, but they're not that close yet. It's too easy. So I already want to push it out to 200 yards because 100 yards is a walk in the park. That was a piece of cake. So let's go ahead and do that. Move along. Move along. Nothing to see here. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't stomp your foot at me. You're getting in my way. I'm not getting in yours. You're getting in my way. Alright, so we're at 200 yards. And I've got a camera down there, so you'll be able to see my shots a lot better. But I sighted this in a little bit more. I was pretty dead on at 100 yards, but it was shooting a little bit to the left at 200, so just adjusted it to the right a little bit. So now it's shooting, I think, a lot more center. I haven't gotten it down exactly, but I think it's close enough. So let's just go ahead and take some more shots here at 200 yards. Oh yeah, those are some good shots. All right there in the middle. That was me. Jerked it to the left a little. Got a little bit of a wind, but I don't think it's affecting the bullet too much. I am sticking with the Remington 223 Remington. Sorry about the redundancy, but that's just what it's called. But I think I'm not going to do the 75 grainers just because I don't really need to. I mean, especially at 200 yards. Maybe if I was shooting like 400 or 500 yards, I would definitely switch to 75 grain. Bullets, or obviously even like some 77 or something like that, but what I have right now are the 75 grain. These right here, by the way. But I have tested these through this rifle. I tested a lot of different rounds through this rifle, and it really likes these 75 grain Frontiers. So that tends to be what I usually shoot out of here. But for right now, for simplicity, I'm just sticking with the Remington 223. And it's obviously way too easy, even at 200 yards. Yeah, this scope's doing a pretty good job. I can definitely see the target really well. We had some pretty low light, some really loud combines in the background, so but definitely low light right now, so it's a good test for this scope, and I'm having no problem seeing at 200 yards. I'm pretty sure 300 would be no issue either. Piece of cake. So there was 10 rounds. Nope, one more. Easy, easy. Peasy, peasy. Alright, so the scope is doing great. I mean, that's what we're really out here to test, and I've got no issues. So let me go ahead and load up another handful real quick. I'm probably just going to do 10 more rounds here, and then we'll push it out to 300. I'm not really trying to do like an extensive test here, but I do want to see how this scope performs, and it's performing just fine. You know, for $55, can't really ask for much more. And it looks sleek. I like the look of it for sure. Was that 10? Yeah. I like the look. It's got a very tactical, modern look to it, unlike a lot of your other traditional scopes out there. And it's also not too busy. It doesn't have any buttons back here, like illumination buttons. It doesn't have like a, I don't know, just a bunch of stuff going on, like lasers and lights and stuff hanging off of it. It's just the simple scope, and that's what I prefer. I don't really like to have lasers hanging off my scope. I think that kind of is, it sort of defeats the purpose of a scope. I mean, if you're using a laser, you're obviously going to be shooting mostly close range. And if you're using a scope, you're going to be shooting mostly long range. So why would you put a laser on your scope? It doesn't make any sense. Just put a laser on the gun. I mean, obviously, you would be putting a laser on like an AR-15. I don't know why I'm even talking about lasers, because this one doesn't have one. So forget it. Let's just go for 10 more rounds real quick. I got a light primer strike. This is not the first light primer strike I've had with these Remingtons. It could be the gun, or it could be the ammo itself. Jerk that one low. What we got? 3 more left. See how quick I can get 3 shots off. Hit all 3. Oh man, that's fun. I love long range shooting. There's just almost nothing better than just being out in the middle of a beautiful open field like this. Here in northwestern Missouri, we have a lot of rolling hills, so there's a lot of just beautiful topography to look at and to take in while you're just sitting out here basking in God's good green earth here. It's God's country. Alright. So let me go ahead and move that target. I think we're going to move it up to 300 yards, and then yeah, we're doing okay on time. So yeah, let's do 300 yards. All right, 305 yards with a 9.8 yard incline. So we're shooting about 10 yards up at 305. So let's go ahead and get some shots off here. The sun is actually kind of starting to come out a bit, so it's probably a little brighter out here than when I was shooting at 200 yards. So that's good, but we're getting towards the end of the day, so the sun's going to start going down soon. So let me see if I can get a bunch of rounds off here real quick. Alright, 300 yards. When I was carrying this table over here at this position, the gun was on it and it fell over, so I hope it didn't knock off the zero, but let's see. Actually, I'm on very uneven ground here, so I think I'm gonna do something like that. Oh yeah, that's way better. Alright, 300 yards. I gotta find where my hold is here. Alright. Oh, it was about bullseye right there. Cool. Okay. So I'm only holding about a half of a hash mark up. So there are numbers on the reticle that you would think would correspond to the yardage, but I don't know. I mean, maybe with like a 22 or something like this. This scope's obviously not made for probably most center fire rounds, so it's probably more accurate. At least the reticle is probably a little more accurate with something like a 22 or a 22 mag, but with something like a 223, even a 308, something like that, I'm still using like that first hash mark, and right now at 300 yards I'm only aiming, I think, halfway in between the top or the center reticle, the center of the reticle, and the halfway to the first hash mark, if that makes sense. Let me try and explain that a little better. Basically, I'm from the center of the reticle, right below it is a hash mark, and that distance I'm using the halfway point in between the reticle and the first hash mark. So not too much of a drop, in other words. We are still using the 55 grain 223s. Shoot. Got another light primer strike. I think it's the gun. That sucks. Alright. That was going to be a good shot too. I could feel it. Yeah, that's not good. Why, oh why, is this all of a sudden giving me light primer strikes? It's definitely the gun. Because the dimple on the casing that was just fired is a little bit deeper than the dimples that are on the ones that didn't fire. I bet if I put these through a AR-15 or something like that, it would probably shoot, but yeah, that's frustrating. I like this rifle a lot. I'm hoping that maybe I can fix it, or fix that issue somehow. I've got a cow that's coming this way. Son of a. Please don't come any closer. Is that it? All right. Let me load up another 10 rounds here. I've got a cow. He's probably right off frame, but he's staring me down. That's a longhorn. Usually I can kind of wrangle these cows a little bit and get them to go away, but the guy that's raising cattle out here went and got himself some longhorns, and I don't really want to mess with those. They have gigantic horns. I don't really want to take a longhorn to the broadside of my car. They seem like they're a little bit more aggressive too. He's coming right here. Come on, man. Get out of here. Alright. I'm gonna go try and chase him off real quick. Can't quite see him. He's like right off camera. But there you go. There he is. Let's see if I can get him out of here. Come on, man. Go on. Alright, I think I got 10 more here. A little bit of wind. I think it's blowing to the right. Oh my god. Light primer strikes. The bane of my existence. That's so frustrating. Got 3 light primer strikes sitting right here on the table. Wind really picked up. Whew. I think I don't know, maybe it blew it off course. Felt like a good shot. I think I'm hitting bottom right. Yeah, it's hitting slightly to the right. 300 yards, no problems whatsoever. I can see all my shots right through the scope here. It's pretty clear at 300 yards. I mean, I can definitely see there's like a big grouping to the bottom right. But all in all, it's pretty good for about $55. primer strike. That's it right there. Alright. So I'm probably going to call it. Honestly, I have kind of a headache right now. I don't really want to push it out to 400 yards. But man, I would love to. This rifle is definitely capable of easily 400 yards, but probably even 500-600 yards with those 75 grainers. Probably even 700 yards to be honest. But yeah, I think especially with these light primer strikes, this guy right here, along with these three over here, I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a look at this rifle and maybe just try some other ammo, see if that's also giving me light primer strikes. But yeah, I don't know. I might have to talk to Mossberg about that, because these are those the Remington 223s, and Remington's a good brand. You know, they use good primers and everything. So yeah. Anyways, but the UUQ 4-16 by 44. It's a good scope. I like it a lot. It does just fine. Oh yeah, I mean, now that I got everything kind of set, what you can basically do is get an Allen wrench, unscrew or loosen the top right there, and then you can move this around, put it back on 0, and then tighten that down, and then that way you'll know exactly, you know, if you got to adjust for windage or if you got to adjust for elevation right there, you'll know exactly where 0 is, so you can go ahead and put it back to 0 pretty easily once you mess around with it. But yeah, I didn't. Okay, Cal, calm down. I didn't really mess around with the illumination at all, but it works. Yeah, let's go and take a look. So in order to really see anything right now, I gotta have it all the way up to the 3rd setting. The green looks really good. Wow. And you got blue as well. I don't really know why people use blue. I feel like the Christmas colors are really the best, red or green. I'm sure there's a reason why people use blue, but yeah, it's still daylight. I'm pretty sure if it was really dark out, you know, if it was like dusk or dawn, you could probably just use the one setting for there, you know, the low setting for the illumination, and it'd probably be just fine. But I don't really like using illumination to begin with. I feel like that as long as you have enough light to just see anything through the scope, you'll be able to see the reticle, and illuminating that reticle is not really going to help you that much. But it's a cool feature to have. I mean, you know, why not have it? If they're going to give it to you, why not? Right? With $55 scope. That cow agrees with me. But yeah, I mean, it looks really good. It's got that like tactical look to it, and has good adjustments and everything. The feeling of it is really nice. You know, everything's really smooth, like the adjustments and stuff, and adjusting the objective lens and everything. The parallax, the diopter, right here, right? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I mean, everything is very smooth. The clicks are really nice. And yeah, it looks great. I usually have a Burris 3x9 or 329 by 40 scope on here, so I'll probably take this off and put that Burris back on here, just because it's, you know, I don't know. I mean, I like this scope, but I'd rather have my Burris back, you know, for obvious reasons. It's a much more high-end scope than something like this. But if you're trying to get by on a budget, I think this is a great choice right here. The UUQ 4-16 by 44 AOE. I'm pretty sure it stands for adjustable objective. I don't know what the E stands for, but essentially it's just saying that you can adjust it right here and stuff. So yeah, that's gonna do it. So UUQ, thanks for sending out the scope, and thank you very much everybody for watching. I'll see you in the next video.